Hello, welcome back to, we are on, yeah, love it. Welcome back to Making Video Your Business. This episode, you might recognise this man next to me, big cheese of the industry. This is Rob Smith. Hi, mate, how are you?
I'm very good.
Group MD for TPFG Group, amongst other many tasks that you perform during the week, right?
Correct.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Really pleased to be here.
Just had the big sort of annual conference. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was good to see some motivational speakers there.
Yeah.
Great to see all the franchisees get together, meet the suppliers, work out what we're doing well, what we could do better. So, yeah, it was good.
You jumped on stage as well with Adam Noonan, didn't you?
I did.
What were you talking about?
I did my specialist subject. Yeah.
Your new specialism.
My new specialism, which is high tech and AI, yeah.
Love it. I'm going to see you on Mastermind at some point.
Yeah,
my
not
specialist
quite,
subject.
Not quite as
Well, we were talking about this just sort of off camera beforehand,
Yeah.
and obviously we're always trying to keep our finger on the pulse, see what's going on with the sort of like text to video stuff. But you and Adam have been looking quite closely at how you can help the group wide sort of picture. And what have you been looking into to try and help agents, or sort of like what have you been researching with AI and automation? Have you been dipping your toes in the water?
Yeah. So it started off a good while ago. I wasn't involved from the start, but it was involved a good while ago where we were looking at how AI can assist estate agents for many reasons, whether it be financial or whether it be time efficiencies, stuff like that. Task-orientated stuff that can be taken away. So it started off with that, bit clunky, very sort of out there in terms of what it could do and will it do it. Yeah. And then it very, very quickly progressed into being able to get an AI agent to answer the telephone, ring people.
Yeah, of course. Well, you're going to show me
stuff, so
aren't you?
Yeah.
She's called Jenny, or it's called Jenny, I don't know.
Yeah, our AI agent's called Jenny, and she's from the northeast with a great soft accent.
Yeah, I mean, that is a popular accent, actually.
Yeah.
A lot on adverts and stuff, like a sort of a smooth Geordie accent, yeah. So how's that come about? Where's she come from, if we're calling her a she?
So I was asked, what did I feel was the biggest and best thing that AI could do for us at the moment in estate agency? And I always look at the most simple things that we possibly can. And for me, the biggest frustration I've had in estate agency is the consistency of applicant qualification or lead qualification, lead management, whatever you want to call it, with your people. So lead comes in, is it on the phone, whether it's on the portal, who answers the phone, have you got a member of staff in? Are they trained well? Are they overworked? Are they busy? Have they got loads else going on? So actually, in general, the frustration is that the quality of registration of that applicant or that inquiry traditionally is a little bit poor. We talked about the old phrase of people order take. They do exactly what the customer wants, but we don't do any more. So the frustration is, have I got enough people who are skilled enough consistently to deal with the inquiry? And then when we have, what is said, and are we consistently
like
qualifying
in a script
a buyer?
Form, almost like
in a script form, but conversational. So all the old stuff, motivation, ability, need, all those sorts of things we want to find out. But we also want to build a database, don't we? We don't want to just service the applicant and book a viewing for them. We want to keep the details, find all the properties for them, and keep in touch with them.
Yeah, I mean that's huge at the minute, isn't it? Like, and it has been for a while. But matching properties with people in your database, because I mean we were just talking before, but people are moving like every 8, 9, 10 years, and was it 95% of people are not on the market?
Yeah,
you've got to try and sort of keep them in, or get in their minds, I guess, for when they are going to make that decision. Yeah.
So I was asked that, and I turned around and said, if you can find me a way that I can consistently, all the time, register somebody or qualify a buyer, or an applicant, whatever we want to call it, get the information, get it on my CRM, deal with it effectively, give good customer service, and get key information from the person that we can follow up.
Yeah,
if you could give me that, I'll have the best database on the database in the estate agency, and I'll be able to service it. I'll be able to cross-sell. I'll be able to help the customer find other stuff that they don't understand that they need, but hopefully we can.
Well, yeah, because some of them aren't aware of the products that agents can offer over and above, and also like you're saying there, sort of even if you just miss one key question, because as a human receptionist or phone answerer, you're a bit busy, your mind's on something else.
Totally.
That's key, right? Because you miss a call back with them, you can miss an opportunity. That's interesting. And my next question would be, how is it? How does Jenny perform? Is it you have to wait a couple of minutes for a response, and you're like, hello, is anyone there?
It's mad.
Is it really good?
So do you want me to tell you how it works?
Yeah, please, go on.
So we were sat with Nurture,
Yes.
who we're working with, and the concept is: can you qualify my buyer? Can you get the information I require? And can you do it in a polite, professional customer service way that sounds natural?
Got you. So you went to Nurture and tasked them with?
Yeah, I sat opposite somebody like you with a laptop.
Yeah.
Said, this is the structure of the call.
Right.
This is the reason why I want to do it. Yeah, which is key. This is what we want Jenny to do.
Mm-hmm.
These are the questions we want Jenny to ask. How Jenny asks them and the responses that she gives to the answers the customer gives is up to Jenny.
Of course.
Yeah. So we sit there, we typed a few questions in about booking the viewing.
Yeah.
Can I take some more information from you in terms of name, address, telephone number, contact details, etc.? Keep it simple. If this isn't the perfect one for you, then let me take some more information and to see if I can find something that is. And then that opens the door to applicant qualification. So we sat there and said, this is the concept. This is what we'd like to do. These are the questions we'd like you to ask, Jenny to ask.
Yeah.
Press a button, phone rings, Jenny's on the line. I'm talking to Jenny, very clunky, very awkward,
right,
not smooth.
Asked
the same questions a couple of times, didn't really understand it.
Right.
Went back again, had another conversation. My colleague sat opposite me, he's typing away on his laptop, uploads it, has another one, a lot better.
Oh, so quite quickly.
45 minutes later, no word of a lie, 45 minutes later, we have a call that is a 7 out of 10.
You'd almost not guess.
7 out of 10.
Wow.
You might guess initially.
Yes.
And the challenge is, which we could come to later, is do you tell somebody that I'm AI Jenny?
Yeah, I heard there's some kind of European law either coming or the way you've got to tell.
And morally, should you tell people? I think you probably should. So we'll tackle that when we need to do. But basically, after 45 minutes, I'm talking to somebody. No, 45 minutes, and it's a 7 out of 10. We played it at the group conference, and it was. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect in 45 minutes.
No, of course,
but the reality of it is if after 45 minutes we can get that level of applicant qualification in a conversational fashion, getting the information that we need to support the customer and help the customer. Imagine what we can do sort of next week. The week after.
Yeah,
the week
we were
after.
just saying that, weren't we?
And the month after.
I'll keep reading that this is the worst it'll ever be in terms of AI and sort of automated tech. And you think, wow, some of it's pretty good already. And you think, like you say, a week's time, 6 weeks' time, or a year's time, it's going to be like we're having a chat, right?
Yeah.
With no pregnant pauses. There'll be no thought process because she'll have already been learning, I guess.
Yeah. And it's mind-blowing. The little snippets of empathy and acknowledgement that Jenny can
say if
during the conversation.
Maybe not she'd sense I'm upset, but if my wife had passed and it was a sale through death, would she not offer condolences, but is she listening and reacting?
Yeah, she is able to. We didn't do that particular one, but we did somebody had been on the market for a long time, had got no interest in the property, and Jenny just out of the blue turns around and says, that must be really challenging for you.
What?
So
you hadn't even
No, we hadn't said, can you say that? So actually there's a thought process going on. It'll only get better, and at some stage I'm sure it's going to be not the right thing to say to a degree, but she thinks on her feet. So we did before Christmas we did a session and we're live on the phone with Jenny.
Yeah.
And the person who was the applicant, for want of a better phrase, says, oh, by the way, my partner who's here is German. Can you describe the property in German for me? And within a fraction of a second, she's talking German. Then he says,
really?
then he says, actually, I'm sorry, she's not German, she's Spanish. And she talks in Spanish. And then she does it again and does it in French. Then goes back to English.
And that was even in the original.
That was in none of the script. None of the script.
No.
The person just said, can you speak in a different
just
language?
reacted on the spot to it.
Yeah. So what we found initially is there was a little bit of a glitch, a little bit of a pause, but the more that you work with it, the less the pause there is. Don't get me wrong, Jenny got a bit excited at times and was saying, that's fantastic. And
it wasn't fantastic.
A bit Americanized and stuff like that. Right. That's a great area. And you're thinking, no, it's not.
Yeah,
so there's certain things that we're going to have to sort of play with.
But that's just all in the initial stages of tinkering.
Yeah, of course it
and
is.
do you think is that with a view to offer that out to the TPFG network then.
Yeah. When you look at it, so we've got 9 owned offices in Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So within that, we've got the same challenges as most people do, which is recruitment and retention, training and consistency, and people off sick and everything else that comes with life.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept is we pilot it, trial it, and build it in the own branches, just as a simple product. In terms of can we do applicant qualification, but they can also ring out and do viewing feedback. So we've actually recorded one on generating viewing feedback and getting back to vendors.
Right.
So that's just tiny,
isn't it? Yeah.
You can imagine going into task orientated property management questions, that there's a problem with my tap and my boiler and everything else.
Over the course of a year.
Yeah.
Must be hours and hours and hours.
So if we can sort of build it out in the owned offices, that gives us a product. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? It's a product, but AI Jenny gives us an opportunity to say to franchisees, look, you're short-staffed, you're struggling to answer your phone, out of hours, speed, whatever you want to do. Actually, sounds awful, doesn't it? Can we plug this in?
Yeah. But
we plug in Jenny, and Jenny can help you out.
And even like the foreign investors thing for some London agents. But even, I mean, say we're in Grantham at the minute, and we've got quite a big sort of like Polish population here, and a little bit of Lithuanian and stuff. But there are a couple of agents in town that have employed Polish staff because they can converse with a lot of the Polish market that's around. And same in Boston, there's a lot of
Portuguese in Boston. Yeah.
So that's interesting that you wouldn't need to get in a special translator or anything like that.
No, and some of the franchisees afterwards had a conversation with me and said that speaking in a different language would fit for them.
Completely, yeah.
And
even if you only
stand
got
out.
6 clients a year that are Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, name your country, that's just so slick as a business offering that we can still converse with you.
So there's I might be short-staffed. I might be overstaffed. We were talking earlier on, national insurance gone through the roof.
Yeah, minimum wage going up.
It's a challenge for everybody. Minimum wage keeps going up.
It?
It's frightening. So all of those challenges, Jenny drops in. Do you need as many staff? I'm not saying that there's everything they can do, so humans will still need to be here. But she's reliable, she's consistent.
And how do you go about
just
being devil's advocate? How do you go about, I don't know, maybe fact checking? I suppose you do dip test every now and again because, like you said before, like she's got the ability, or in the early days when she was getting programmed, to go a bit rogue, accents and stuff. But how do you know that she is talking French to a client, or the French is correct, or I don't know, like is that a thing that you just have to keep an eye on, or
that's something I'll let the tech people.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all,
but it's got to be there somewhere. I'm assuming logic says to me, if it goes a bit rogue and there's a problem, you're going to find out.
Yeah, I suppose it's being alert.
Customer's going to talk to you.
Yeah,
the customer's going to say that potentially we've talked about, is there an escalation that all of a sudden it says, I need to talk to a human or whatever.
Yeah, and that's
so
often
you can spin that
even
across.
Like AI answer machines now when you ring the bank or whatever, like obviously the last option is stay on the line and we'll put you through to an actual human.
Exactly. So there's other options. There's all sorts of options. We were talking to somebody the other day who's using it as an outbound call method, where he's experienced that 50% of his outbound calls don't get answered. In fact, I think it was more than that. So actually,
by the person trying to ring,
so a human's ringing somebody, and 50% of the time they don't answer the phone. Well, could AI ring, and then as soon as the phone's answered, flick it to you?
Of course.
That's time efficiency.
Because then you ping an incoming call.
Yeah. That's time efficient.
That's interesting. Because Jenny's in the background just ring.
You get humans to do the real focused.
Well, that's where the
skill
lies.
Bit. Jenny's an opportunity to remove the task-orientated stuff.
Well, like you
that
said,
actually doesn't pay you any money.
5,000 calls in the morning.
So I was
patching them through.
Yeah, I was talking to Damon at Nurture, and he says, just imagine somebody ringing out 5,000 people with different conversations all at the same time. So back in the corporate days when we're having call-out sessions till 7 o'clock at night, and you manage to call out 50
Go
people.
Through your Rolodex.
Get 50 people to answer the phone. I've called out 150. Well, if Jenny can do that all at once at one go, that's a bit mind-blowing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking she's tied to one line and one call at a time, but she's
Well,
not.
that's what your brain thinks.
Yeah.
That's what my brain thinks, not being that techie. Yeah, obviously. But no, can do multiple calls at one time.
And let's be real. This is pretty. It's not basic because you and I can't do it. But for the tech guys, like I guess this is some of the most basic type of programming to allow this.
And that's why we started with the simple stuff. Can we do something that is process, structured? There's a flow to it. There's a method behind it,
and everyone would benefit,
and everybody benefits from it. And where we then move on to is, does it ever sell for you? I don't know. It probably will do at some stage. Will it sell as well as the best human? Probably not. But we don't know, do we? Because it's got to go
say, as the
quickly.
Conversation gets more real sounding, the pauses are removed. She's empathetic or understanding or quizzical about what you just said. Then, you know, I mean, I'd always say it needs to be an overview by humans because
without a doubt, without a doubt, it's not going to turn into no humans around and AI and
just running branches
for us. But there's got to be something else behind it where it's human orientated. But the reality of it is what we're looking to do and help support franchisees with eventually is, are there time efficiencies, are there cost savings, are there opportunities where that can be done? Because sounds a bit commercial. There's no money to be made in a lot of those things.
True.
When actually, can you focus your attention on growing your business with all the other things that might not be able to do?
That's a great point, actually.
If you can give the task-orientated stuff elsewhere.
Yeah, because that's for everybody. Doesn't make you money, but allows you to make money in other areas.
Correct.
And use your human skills in.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And then, so I mean, we look at like video, you know, and just when you were talking there, it's such a great point that possibly we always talk about frequently asked question videos. So Christian Byfield, you know, inventory based property down in London, the Viking of the industry. But he said that as they must take hundreds of hours of call a year on how do I repressurize the boiler, and you know, on their letting side, how do I do this, how do I do that? I've got a leaky pipe or blah blah blah. He said now we've made sort of like 50 odd FAQ videos, and they spent a whole day just filming to camera. He said someone will ring and they'll go, oh, need to repressurize the boiler. While they're on the phone, you got their details because they're already a client. You've already sent them your FAQ video on how to repressurize the boiler, which they can watch at repeat. Now, he said that saves them 100 hours or so a year. I'm thinking if Jenny answers the phone, sees what the problem is, and then she can pull down from your database of video content and automatically send them an email. I mean, I don't even know that's the thing.
Making all my secrets now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Progresses really quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what do you pick? What's the most urgent bit? What's the most effective bit? And it'll be different for everybody. It'll be different for every industry, be it sales, lettings, financial services, or car sales, or whatever. There'll be those things that they'll look at and say, what can we remove and get Jenny to do that actually creates us an opportunity to then grow and
she's just
commercialize it.
She's the most intelligent, sort of motivated receptionist you'll ever have, right? Because she's plugging you into all these sales leads or opportunities.
So I looked at it being a bit old schooly. So register an applicant, take all the information, find out more about their financial services situation. You find out whether they've got a house to sell. You get all that information. So what Jenny did on this call is found out all that information in a very conversational fashion. Turn around, imagine their lead coming into the negotiator sat in the branch. I've booked this viewing for you already. By the way, they're looking for this. They can afford that. They've spoken to them. They've got a house on the market. It's on the market with this person. It's been on for that long. Imagine that information coming into a really strong salesperson.
And as you meet the person,
talk to them. You got all info.
All the info.
You can do a bit of history behind it. You can get prepared for it, and you can get out there, and you become a more effective salesperson.
Such a weapon in their arsenal that, I mean, because we often say, like Ian's story, if you're watching Ian, we love you. But his sort of mantra with video is, because he does a pre-val and a post-val, but the pre-val, he said, I do a lot of videos anyway, and I'm quite well known in the Cheshire area. But he said the power of walking up someone's driveway or footpath, them opening the door and saying, hi, Ian, thanks for coming.
Totally.
is so powerful because chances are they don't know the other two people they invited round and they've never seen them before. And he said, I almost feel that I've won the viewing or the
well, it's got a relationship with them straight away.
Exactly. And like you're saying, they might, the salesperson might never ever met this couple, for example, but they're talking to them like they do know them or they've done their research.
Yeah,
least,
totally.
And that's a warming feeling that someone's actually cared about what you're. Wow, interesting chats, Rob. Let's come on again in like 6 months' time,
and I'll let you go.
See where it's going to. Yeah,
do my job in 6 months.
Me and you'll be sat on a beach somewhere, just go.
If only.
Well, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
And, we'll speak to you soon. All right?
No worries. Thank you,
guys. Next episode, we don't know who's going to be on. Well, we do, but we're not going to tell you. So tune in next week and you'll find out. Thanks for watching.